Hello, everybody. It is Mr. Odom, and today's lesson is on the surface area of cylinders. Right, so we have our quotes. Hopefully, you guys been enjoying the quotes as much as I enjoy them because they make me think about what's going on in my life, in my head. So, today's quote is: there are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle by Albert Einstein. And so we're going to pause the video for a moment for you to take some time to reflect on this quote and what it means to you in your life. So, again, you can write in your composition books or your journals. And if you want to share with me, you can, but you do not have to. So the video is going to pause now. All right, so we're back. Let's talk about some cylinders and how do we find the surface area. So there are the tools, make sure you have them. And I hope you are, when the videos pause, that you are actually working the problems out in your composition book. I do not want you working things out in your head. The math you're going to do that you're moving into in algebra and beyond, you're just not going to be able to do it in your head. You're going to have to write stuff down. So this is where you practice. How do we find the surface area of cylinders? Well, there's a formula that we're getting ready to learn, and you'll use that formula to find the surface area of cylinders. So here we are, the surface area of a cylinder, and we use capital S to represent surface area, is the sum, look at this, of the areas of the bases. Where have we seen that before? And so I'm plus the area of the lateral surface. So before, when we had prisms, we had lateral surfaces. When we were finding the surface area of a pyramid, it was the area of the base plus the area of the lateral surfaces. When we were finding the surface area of prisms, it was the area of the bases plus the area of the lateral surfaces. So it's the same formula. It's just sometimes the bases are plural, sometimes it's singular. In this case, the bases is plural because there are two of them. There are two circles, and we have to find the area of them. And we've learned how to do that. In chapter 8, we've figured out how to find the area of circles. So it shouldn't be too bad. And then the lateral surface. So in a cylinder, the lateral surface is what you see in blue. And if we were to make a net, we would see that that lateral surface is a rectangle, which has a height and it has a length. And the length is equivalent to the circumference of the base. All right. So 2 times pi times r is the circumference of the circle. That you can call that the length. And then the width, we'll just say, is the height of the cylinder. So to find the area of that rectangle, it's length times width. That's how I get this part of the formula. Then I find the area of one of the circles and I multiply it by 2. That's how I get this part of the formula. All right, so the surface area for a cylinder is 2 times pi times radius squared plus 2 times pi times radius times the height of the cylinder. So I'm going to stop the video now so that you can write the formula down for the surface area of a cylinder. Okay, so hopefully you got that formula, and then we're just going to practice. Okay, pay attention here. It says find the surface area of the cylinder and round your answer to the nearest tenth. It's going to be important that you do that on the test. Okay, so here, draw a net. For those of you that like to draw nets, I say draw them, label them, and then use them to help you find the surface area. So there's my formula. and the radius is 4 millimeters. So I just plug that in, and I know that the radius is 4 and the height of my cylinder is 3. So now what I did here is I multiplied the numbers together, and I didn't multiply everything by 3.14. All right. So when I do that, I do get an answer. You could say the surface area equals 56 times pi millimeters squared. That's a perfectly good answer. So in this answer, I have not multiplied by pi yet. And that's okay. You can leave it like that. Or you can write an approximation for the surface area. So the surface area is approximately. So what did I do? Multiplied 56 times 3.14, and you'll get 175.8. And this would be millimeters squared, or square millimeters. All right. But again, you can leave your answers written in terms of pi, especially if it asks you to. Now, when you're taking the test in big ideas, you may just, it'll multiply by 3.14. So you will actually put this answer. For most of the problems, you have to pay attention. Okay, if it says write your answer in terms of pi, then write it like that. Okay, all right. So here we go. Find the surface area of the cylinder. Round your answer to the nearest tenth. Okay, so if you're going to round your answer to the nearest tenth, then you need to go ahead and multiply by pi. So the video is going to pause so you can work this out in your composition book. All right, we're back. There's my formula. There's my height and my radius. There's the work that I did. Okay, got approximately 565.2 square yards. I also worked it out and just left everything in terms of pi. So I ended up with 180 pi yards squared. Okay, so this is the one, this would be the answer that would go into big ideas if this was a problem that you were assigned in your online assignment. Okay, let's look at another one. There you go. I labeled the radius and the height. The video is going to pause so you can work this one out. Go for it. We're back again. And again, there's my formula. There's my work. This time I worked the problem out in terms of pi first. So I left the 3.14 out of it, and I end up with this, 126 times pi. So then in my calculator, I just take 126, multiply it by 3.14. So that, let me just put a box around that. So in my calculator, this is what I'm doing. I'm taking 126, I'm multiplying it by 3.14, and then you will end up with that as your answer. Now it says round to the nearest tenth. Is my answer rounded to the nearest tenth? No, it's not, Mr. Odom. So we have to write surface area is approximately 395.6 centimeters squared. Okay, so there you go. A couple examples. Let's look at a couple more. How much paper is used for the label on the can of peas? So do I need to find the entire surface area? The answer is no. You just have to find the lateral surface area of the cylinder. I don't care about the circles because there's no paper covering those. All right, so I just need that part of the formula to find the lateral surface area. Plug in the numbers. I get 4 pi, which is approximately 12.56. So I need about 12.56 square inches of paper. Again, you could write surface area equals 12.56 inches squared. I could write my answer that way as well. right? That's how much paper I need to use for my label. All right, here's another problem. You earn basically 1 cent for recycling the can in example 2. How much can you expect to earn for recycling the tomato can? And assume, there you go, that the recycle value is proportional to the surface area. Okay, proportional to the surface area. So what do we do? Find the surface area of each can. So here's the surface area of the tomato can. Work that one out. Here's the surface area of the can of peas. Work that one out. And this is why sometimes leaving things in terms of pi is a good thing. All right. So then we've used a proportion to find the recycle value. You want to figure out how much does it cost? How much do I earn for recycling a tomato can? Obviously, it's bigger, right? Its surface area is bigger. All right. So let's figure that out. And what do? I make a proportion. All right. I get 1 cent for every can of peas that I recycle. And that is the surface area for the can of peas right there. And I get 1 cent. For the can of tomatoes, that's the surface area, 30 pi inches squared. I need to figure out how many cents do I get. So I can use a cross products property, and that's what we're doing here. And what the book doesn't do, I'll put down here. We put our line down here. How do I get x by itself? We divide by 6 pi. So what happens when I divide this by 6 pi? Well, pi cancels there. And 30 divided by 6 is just 5. 5 times 0.01, there's my x. What does that mean? It means that for every tomato can, I will earn 5 cents for recycling that can. All right. So there's an example where leaving things in terms of pi is good because in this problem, the pi canceled out. All right. So if you have questions for me, the video is going to pause so you can ask me. Okay, I'm back. So hey, it's Mr. Odom, and well, I guess I'm out. It's gone. All right. You guys have a good one. We'll see you soon.